Like, let me tell you, Oliver, I barely got to slide back in my seat and I'm already back to the edge. Kat and Don are both jumping right into it, starting off with Higanshu. So
This is a song
this is
I'm with, so I'm excited. Like I will be hearing it probably for the first time as well. So
yeah,
if you
I've
just
never actually played or seen this chart,
so
so I'm
if you're
excited to see this. Yeah, like we've talked about a couple times, the difference between the class ranks can be a little wild at times. Kat is a Kaiden, Dondas is a Chuden. So as long as we're avoiding super high tier 12s, these should all be very close matches in terms of the timing and everything else.
right,
So I'm pretty excited to see how this is going to play out.
yeah, I'm pretty excited. This sounds like this is an Asaki song, right? I'm wondering if Kat was the one that chose this. I'm wondering if her Dora background is factored into this choice at all.
It's entirely possible. Like again, it's not a song that I'm super familiar with, but
Ooh, there's some scary.
yeah, they're neck and neck right now. Kat's actually getting dangerously low.
Yeah, it looks like Kat has turned on the EX hard clear bar, which you don't get a lot of opportunities to mess up, and that drains all the way, and then your score stops and the song ends, and you're just waiting for the other person to finish. But she's catching back up. Don Deuce has been a little bit more reserved in their choice of regular hard clear bar, and it looks like they're not having too much of a problem with it.
Yeah, like I said earlier, like a lot of these, 9s and 10s that we've been seeing EX hard clear on, like they're not hard songs per se, but it only takes that one little slip with EX hard and you're toast.
Right, and I think we almost saw that with the one scary fingering roll. Was that a 5-6 roll?
I believe it was. It was a very rude roll, whatever it was.
Oh, these scores are close. I think this is going to be how the match runs. I think we're going to get scores that are on this order of difference the entire way through.
Yeah, we got a 1927 from Kat and 1888 from Don. So he's right on her heels. Like those players picking up the AAA though, and that may have been a sight read AAA for Dondas as well. Like he didn't have a play on it in Infinitas before. I think maybe he's played it in another version, at the arcade or maybe console version.
Maybe. I think it's been out of arcades for a while, like since I can remember at least. I've been playing since about the Winkle days, so maybe about 10 years worth. And now we're going into the second song, which is Dondos's pick, In the Sky Hyper. Pretty fast song. I think it's got a little bit of rhythmic complexity to it, but not a whole lot. So it's going to be a test of precision between the two as well. And
Yeah.
I'm going to defer to you. Do I have that right?
Yeah, it sounds about right. It's a 9. It's a Ryu chart, so it's probably just going to be fast and relatively straightforward with possibly a few little hiccups they could run into.
I feel like Ryu charts tend to have they both got EX hard clear on, so they must feel comfortable with it. But I feel like Ryu charts tend to have some very spicy portion somewhere in every song.
Yeah, definitely.
I give that as well.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've played this chart, so I can't say off the top of my head.
Those rolls might help strangely. Well, this beginning's really kind of dense for a 9.
Yeah, and the way that both of them have randomed the chart is that's abnormally hard stuff for a 9. It's because of the random, but you don't normally see patterns like that in 9s.
Just to fill in the viewers, so random is there's a modifier in the game where you can permute the lanes so that notes that come down one lane all come down a different lane. and they switch places. So it changes patterns in the charts, sometimes significantly. It can affect the ability of the player to score on it or hold combo on it, which both are important in this case because they have the EX hardware bar on. 6 misses in a row, baby. You got to watch out.
Yeah, and it really depends on the chart in question, whether it makes it easier, harder, or doesn't really make a difference at all. Some songs are just brutally difficult to play without random because of the way they're charted. Some songs are completely unbearable to play without random. And then you've got some songs that just will not random well whatever you do, and you want to turn it off.
Right. It's definitely up to the player to have the deep knowledge of the game to decide what's best for every situation.
Exactly.
They are pretty close. Again, Cat doesn't have a personal best on this on Infinitas, but it looks like they are super neck and neck right now. And Obazea takes it by just a few points again.
There's absolutely stellar plays from both players. Yeah, Dondas actually tied the pacemaker that Kat was shooting for. She had it at 95%, which is 20-50 on the nose. And that is where Dondas landed.
95% score as a goal. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely a pretty high watermark, especially in a tournament like this. Now, if you were, grinding for a score or a lamp or something, it wouldn't be that big of a deal to, be, running, pacemaker 100 or something ridiculous like that.
Right.
But to hold yourself to the standard of 95% in a tournament setting, like head to head like this, that's just
it's intense.
They're both definitely feeling the pressure a little bit.
And speaking of precision songs, I think we got another one up here. This is Gekko by Tosh featuring Kanaka Hoshino, I believe. This is a classic vocal song. Mostly 16ths.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it is a Tosh song, so it's going to be a lot of 16, lots of rolls, lots of streams.
It's really nice to just listen to, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, looking at Kat's side right now, her random is actually doing some of those right-hand chord patterns that if I were the one playing, I would have reset the random by now.
Yeah, hers is extremely right-side biased right now, I think.
That's just... that's what we mentioned just a minute ago. Sometimes random helps, sometimes random makes things a little trickier. And this particular case, for me, that would make it a lot harder to score.
Right. Yeah, and in the tournament, you don't have the ability to just throw it out and pick a different random. You're stuck with whatever you get, and you got to gamble on it being at least reasonably good. Right?
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, it's in another 10. At Kat's level, she can power through a bad random without too much trouble. But that doesn't make it any fun to play for a lot of people regardless. She's kind of a masochist, though. She's probably having the time of her life with that right-hand chord roll.
It's I ate this for breakfast. Dondos is also holding up very well. It looks like they had a little bit of a snafu with their bar, but they're not in any danger at the moment, so let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah, he's lagging behind a bit. Oh, Cat actually got the EX hardware full combo, yeah.
Wow.
So that's going to be 15 points.
Yeah, they're fighting for those bar bonuses for sure. Pretty crazy. I'm more familiar with Gekko from the double chart, which is famous for having a very prominent impossible scratch at one point. So I know Cat plays a whole bunch of doubles as well, and wondering what prompted her to choose that one. But clearly it was a good choice. Yeah, Dondos' bar, like you can see in the life bar graph here in the top left corner, as they progress through the song, it tracks the position of the bar, and looks like Dondos had very nearly an emergency right in the middle. But they recovered.
Yeah, if you looked at Kat's bar before she cleared out, you may have noticed that she had 2 little dips as well and 2 fours, but she still got the full combo. So she definitely hit some mash fours. Like, and that could be anything from accidentally double tapping a key to, like, maybe a switch misfiring. Like, it's definitely not a problem with her play, but it is very cute how 2DX will penalize you for hitting a note that wasn't there and still let you keep the full combo.
Yeah, and speaking of very cute, we have up for our next song, Dazzling Darling, which is the hands up genre, which is, I don't think, something you hear very often out in the world these days. It's a very bubbly song. The background video is somewhat famous.
Yeah, the background video is extremely good.
And as you can see, each of their personal bests, this is definitely a very precision-based, timing-based song. Kat nearly has the maximum score on it, and Dondos is very close behind. So they are focused on hitting every single note very, very precisely. Which is still not very easy to do. Like, look at all these chords.
Yeah, like, you would think that chords would be easy to hit, but like we've mentioned before, it's a 2-frame window to hit these notes to get that flashing rate judgment. Like, every time you add a note to a chord, that's 1 more point of failure for that 2-frame window.
Absolutely.
I absolutely agree with what's going on right now, but we got a quick donation. Can I read up?
Yeah, this is a great time.
Awesome, perfect. So we got a $5 donation from Jamich coming in with the comment saying donk. I don't know if that was a song request, but I'm gonna take it as it was.
Might be. There is a song.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take it.
I mean, he might want Donkey Donk.
Yeah, maybe. All right, I'm gonna go back into my cave now. Hosting cave. Bye bye.
Bye.
Song ramps up a little bit here. Not too much, but still enough to. You gotta watch where you're going.
Oh, excuse me.
Who moved the hand cam so we can see the video? That is lovely of you. I appreciate that.
Shout out to the restreamer, the most
2 full combos. Look at those scores. Jeez, that's close.
Jamich did confirm behind the curtains that was a request for Donkey Donk, so we might be seeing that later.
Cat edges that one out just barely. Both very high.
Whoa, real quick before we move into the next song.
Yes.
So we have a $200 donation.
Excuse me.
Whoa.
A $200 donation coming in from Charlie and Ivy. Thank you so much, with a comment of saying, thanks for raising money and bringing awareness for a worthy cause. Also, for the tippy taps and the unts.
Well, let's hope we can deliver some more of that tonight. Oh my gosh, thank you so
Charlie
much.
and Ivy. There was no request onto that, but thank you so much. Really do appreciate the love. Holy crap.
Yeah, shout outs to Charlie and Ivy.
Wow.
We're getting into donation songs next. It looks like we have Shelter of the Mind first for this block.
Fun high-speed vocal song. I think LED is behind this, but it's Yurika on the vocals. It's very energetic. Pretty stamina-based, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and they are both going to be playing the Another. Like, it is an 11 with 1,500 notes and loose change.
Yep.
So
her EX hard clear bar. I wonder if Dondos will do the same.
No, it looks like he drops on the regular.
Yep. Let's be safe.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Yep. It is the wager. I mean, you miss those 6 notes in a row and you get so few points for your song.
Yeah, and as dense as this song gets in a couple sections, if you get a sloppy random like that, like there you go. Like in a tournament situation like this, cannot blame anyone for taking safety on these harder songs.
Right. It seems like Don just might be playing it without random on, but as I say, it's definitely playing with random. I'm not sure which is the better choice.
Yeah, it looks like Don might actually be playing this non-ran. That, like, it's either non-ran or that is like the least random I've ever seen. I think that's the normal chart though.
It looks too regular to be randomized.
Catastrophe said he did turn off random.
Got it. If this is just a constant stream of you gotta be pressing keys and make sure that turntable turns every so often. It looks like they're back to hit that AAA great, but it's gonna be a little close.
Yeah, shoutouts to House Shoes in the chat, shining some light on the situation. Don has said in the past that he likes playing non-ran on straightforward stuff, which makes extreme sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, especially in a setting like this.
It's always you gotta play for the gamble, right? It's like if you could get a really bad random and you feel like you're going to do worse on most of the randoms that come out of the song, better to just skip the whole thing entirely, just play non-ran, go with it. Cat is handling her random quite well. So.
Yeah, Cat is, like, I cannot state enough, like, how strong a player Cat is. Like, she is, at this point, definitely one of the top players in North America. Like, I wouldn't expect her to ever have trouble with a random.
That is a full combo from Cat on an 11 in a tournament, just casually, you know.
And a 2x PV, too.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Like, on, like, a song like that where you already have a pretty high AAA, like, we're definitely going to take those. Like, those little 1-2 point PVs, like, that's still marching towards the max.
Sure is. Dondo's holding his own as well. Repeated his AAA. That's no small matter indeed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got another donation rolling on, by the way.
Oh, yeah, go for it, Alex.
Absolutely. We got Julian coming in here with $10 saying, let's get it, party people. Taking it down to turn it up with the sampling paradise. Keep on slapping keys for a great cause.
I love sampling paradise. I hope to get that. Thank you so much.
Be added to the queue. Yeah, Julian, thank you so much for the $10. And honestly, I didn't read off. I think that the total donation amount is actually on stream. But I'm just going to reiterate that currently right now we are sitting at $2,436 raised, pushing towards that $3,000 amount. Keep those donations rolling. Thank you so much for the generosity. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and again, like all the donations in the tournaments that are happening are going to the Bale Project. Like, it's a great cause, very important in this day and age. So if you have, just even a couple bucks to throw, like, towards the Bale Project, anything is definitely appreciated. Mm-hmm. And for $5 or more, you can pay to win and try to get your song requests through. Because at this point, we have so many requests backed up that you may not be able to get a song request with channel points through.
You might have to push other people out of that slot with actual money. Money to a good cause, but money.
Yeah, so with Rejection Girl, we're gonna see something that we haven't really seen yet in the tournament. We are on the Hyper, so we're not going to see as much of it, but this song is chock full of noodles, those charge notes. Like, we are going to see a lot of charge notes in certain parts of this song. And those are really tricky to learn how to time. Like, they're still relatively new to the game. They were first introduced in Sirius, which was the 17th arcade release. And not only do you have to hit that 2-frame window coming on to get that flashing grade, you get another judgment coming off, and you have to flop within that 2-frame window too to get that flashing grade.
Precise on and precise on.
Like, it can be
Feeling of emotion between hitting the note and releasing the note too. It's a whole new dimension of skill required to play charts like this. And you'll often hear of like people that are players from back before Sirius. They might turn on what's known as the legacy modifier that removes charge notes. You lose some score for not playing them, but you at least won't have to think about it as much. But there's a focus on adaptability in the game too. Like if you can hit the charge notes, you get all that much more score for it.
Yeah, definitely. And like, unfortunately, we're not going to see like the big wall of charge notes here.
We are getting
this
interesting
part
dynamic
of the song, but we are seeing a little bit.
Yeah, she's got both the charge note and individual notes on her right hand, which is causing a little bit of consternation on like how to lift your fingers, but just the finger that you need and not the other one.
Yeah.
Not the charge note. By lifting off too early, you get this feeling you're not getting the points for it.
Yeah, I am in the school of thought that if a song has more than 2 or 3 charge notes, like it's almost not worth using random because it can cause a lot of problems depending on how the charge notes get swapped around.
It definitely can increase the difficulty very suddenly without warning.
Absolutely. Both players are coming out of this with a full combo, though.
Both full combo within 20 points of each other. It's been close down.
Yeah, those are very, very high AAAs as well.
All right, I'm waiting to hear what this next song in the queue is.
Should be Kaiser Phoenix.
Kaiser Phoenix.
So that was actually just added in the February songs. So this is brand new to Infinitas. It's been out for 2 days, I think.
It's a very bombastic, guitar-heavy, hard rock kind of song. If my memory serves me right, it's very scale heavy. There's a lot of stair patterns with alternating. Like if you think of a piano and playing a chromatic scale on it, alternating white and black notes, I think this chart has a lot of those. Although we are playing the Hyper, so I'm not totally sure about that.
The Hyper is definitely considerably easier than the Another, but I haven't personally played the Hyper. I don't think I've seen it. I know Alex played it on stream the other day when he was going through the new songs, but he played it on Another.
Interesting. I think it will have, perhaps it will change out the scales with rolls instead, using the same 2 keys and hitting it alternately. Let's have a look. Oh, this is interesting. Oh. Don needs to recover some of his bar. He's going to end the song a little earlier than he expected. I think what he's experiencing right now is what's known as a bad chain. We had a bunch of chords that were on the same pair of notes repeatedly, and if you hit too early or too late, you can impact your ability to hit the next note. Oh my god, Cat. I think they're both... Ooh, and Don goes down. Oh my goodness. Cat hanging on by a thread. What is going on?
Well, that's just an absolute heartbreaker for Don.
And Cat's not out of the woods either. That is barely a sliver of bar left. She's working back up. I think she got her foothold again. But what happens is if you start to miss notes that are in sequence, like either by a roll like these are, or by successive chords on the same notes, you can affect the note that's coming next. Your ability to hit that, like you'll capture it early, and then it'll count as a miss for you. That's what's known as bad chaining.
Yeah, and you'll see that a lot with these patterns like this, where you're alternating chords or when you're rolling between two keys or two chords. Like, if you get off beat, like, it is so easy to end up in a bad chain.
Whew. I gotta, like, breathe a little bit more. I was holding my breath for a little bit of that song. Ooh. That became way spicier than expected.
Yeah, so like, clearly that Cat is going to take that song. Just absolutely heartbreaking that Dawn is going to go out like that, because
yeah, it was super unfortunate.
Yeah, as strong a player as he is, like, being against Cat in the semifinals, I just don't think he's going to be able to. I don't think he can make up the ground here.
I haven't been looking at the sheet, but I don't know that he's out of the running yet. We'll find out.
16. He's 16 points behind.
Well, they have one song left, and Cat's got that EX hard clear on. Things are still possible.
Yeah, that's true. And Lower World does have a tendency to get out some really awkward randoms. I mentioned earlier, like, some of the older charts where they're a little more technical, like, they don't always random very well.
Right.
So it's entirely possible that, Cat could end up with, kick on 7 or, something like that is just not easy to deal with, even for a player at her level.
Right. I don't think it's over until it's over.
It's going to be tight either way. It's a pretty straightforward song to time. It's nothing but 1/16 streams through the entire song, aside from that funny little section during the breakdown where things get a little offbeat, but there's only like 10 notes there. The rest of the song is very straightforward.
I just want to put in here real quick. Can we get a couple of Dat Boys in chat? Just like type it out, Just like Dat Boy. Dat Boy?
Yeah. Yeah, Dat Boy.
Hearing it.
There he is. Oh snap, what up?
You can blame the turntable for being mapped to those vocal samples. And there's this, you see Cat, and I think both of them are spamming the turntable to produce more of the DAT sound.
Yes, there it is. Yeah, this is the part that I mentioned earlier where it can be a little finicky to time.
This seems pretty dense for a 10.
This is very dense, and it doesn't help that I think they're both on random. I think Dawn turned random back on. Like this is definitely a lot sillier than I remember this another being.
And that concludes the song.
Yeah, like Vince just said in Vince just said in the Twitch chat, Konami has a bad habit of going off the rails, especially in earlier songs at the very end. And it's just like 10 by the way, 11 by the way.
It's like, just in case you forgot what the number was attached to it, here, let's give you a number that might or might not be correct.
Yeah, it's like they haven't completely fixed that either, because I think most people will agree with me. Like Acid Pumper is an 11 until the very last measure, and then it's like a 12.5. That last roll in Acid Pumper is so mean.
Pretty spicy. All right, I think that is the end of the first round of semifinals.
Yeah, and
have the scores in hand. Actually, wait, I do. Looks like
Cat's gonna walk away.
95 points, and Don Deuce has received 84. So Obazeo will move on to finals. And I think that wraps it up for our slot on commentary as well. So I'm
I believe so.
progressing.
But yeah, big shout outs to Kat and Dondas both. Just incredibly strong players. Like, really fun to watch them square off against each other. I cannot wait to see where they go in the future.
Yeah,
But yeah, that is definitely gonna do it for me, I think, unless they ask me to get back on commentary. So stick around. We have our second set of semifinals coming up next, and then we are going to be rolling into our finals. So we're going to have Tran and BitDecay up next in just a couple of minutes. Stick around.